Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. A question you might see all over the internet is, does flat towing hurt my transmission? Well, the all-around answer is going to be, it's going to depend. It will depend on what vehicle you have, the year, make, and model, and what kind of drivetrain it has. Ultimately, following what the owner's manual says to do with flat towing your vehicle is going to be the safest route for you to go. Going against what the manufacturer says may result in hurting your transmission. First up is what determines if a transmission is going to be damaged by flat towing. So first off, we got to start with our transmission needs to be able to be put in a true neutral, which means all the components inside are not going to be moving. Second is our transfer case needs to have the same process done. It needs to go into a true neutral also. This is because when your vehicle is running as normal, the fluid in the transmission and the transfer case are going to be filtered through a cooling system so that it doesn't overheat. When you're flat towing, your rear drive shaft and your front drive shaft are still going to be spinning because all four wheels are on the ground. This is going to want to turn the components on the inside of the transfer case and the transmission. If that fluid is not cooled while all those gears are moving, you run the risk of damaging your transmission or transfer case, or you could blow either one of them up. We have seen cracks or blowouts in the bottom of them when people finally reach their destination because they were flat towing a vehicle that was not designed to be flat towed. So how do you know if your transmission is safe to flat tow? Well, the owner's manual is going to be the number one place you want to check. It'll tell you if your vehicle is flat towable and how to do it if it is. It'll also give you suggestions if your vehicle is not ready to be flat towed. And some of the most common cases for putting your vehicle in a true neutral is that a manual transmission is going to be more likely than an automatic. A CVT transmission, which is in a lot of front wheel drive cars, is not going to be able to be flat towed. Although if you do have a front wheel drive car that has a traditional transmission, more times than not, it's going to be able to be flat towed because you can disconnect the transmission and the transfer case. And lastly, electric vehicles are not going to be flat towable yet. They haven't found the technology to be able to disconnect the electric motors when pulling the car down the road. Now there's going to be one case in which your vehicle may not be able to be flat towed unless you install a rear drive shaft disconnect. Essentially all it's going to do is you install a mechanism on your rear drive shaft and it's going to disconnect it from the rear axle of your vehicle. So the rear differential can still spin while your tires are spinning on the road, but the drive shaft is staying still. Although this is a solution for those specific vehicles, it's not going to be an easy one because in some cases you'll have to crawl under the vehicle to trip this lever in order to engage it, or you'll have to run a cable inside the vehicle to be able to pull it to disengage it. So it's a solution. It's not going to be an easy one every time you set up your flat tow setup. Well guys, what we want you to take away from this is that your transmission and your transfer case have to be put in a true neutral in order to safely flat tow your vehicle, or else you will cause damage to them. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.